Alright guys, so you can tell that we have officially entered the Oscar season. I mean, the Oscar race is seriously heating up. And after watching this film, I could tell that this movie is going to dominate in the technical aspects, technical categories at this year's Academy Awards. Hey there guys, what's up? It's Autobot Mike 18 here guys. Man, do I have a movie to review for you guys in this video. So guys, yeah, in this video I will be reviewing Gravity. Gravity is the new Alfonso Cuaron film, and believe it or not, I've never watched another Alfonso Cuaron film except for Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. I just found that out today, and after watching this movie, I'm shocked I've never watched another one of his movies other than those two. This was, oh man, this was so good. This was amazing. So guys, before I get into my actual review, I got something really cool to show you. I got a poster, and of course I got a poster for this movie, Gravity. That's right, I got this is awesome. Look at this right here, guys. I got this free a couple days ago, actually, before I watched the movie today. I didn't get it from my theater. I got it for free somewhere else. This is a bigger poster than the ones I have behind me, and you know where this is going, right here. It actually is a perfect fit, so you're going to see this poster next time you guys see my next review, because what does that tell you guys? That tells you I really enjoyed this movie. The poster is going right behind me, perfect fit. So anyway guys, getting back into the movie, I was really looking forward to Gravity, especially after watching the trailer. It looks like a really, really intense and visually stunning movie set in outer space. It didn't look like a, excuse me, a cheap, generic, crappy special effects sci-fi blockbuster set in outer space. It really looked a lot better than that, especially with the two leads that were in the movie. I was really looking forward to Gravity, and the movie's been getting a lot of praise. Rotten Tomatoes everywhere. A lot of people have been praising this movie. 98% of Rotten Tomatoes. That's pretty damn good. So guys, what do I think of Gravity? Is it a really strong Oscar contender? Oh my god, guys, this has got to be one of the best films I've seen all year. It definitely is one of the best films I've seen all year. Gravity was awesome. I'm already recommending it to you guys. Unfortunately, I didn't see it in 3D, and I'll be kicking myself for that for the rest of my life, probably. I'll get into why I didn't see it in 3D later on. But anyway, guys, yeah, I'm already recommending this movie. It was so good. So guys, yeah, I can't wait to discuss so many things about this movie. The first thing I'm going to start talking about is the plot behind Gravity. Of course, I'm not going to spoil a thing. I'm going to talk about what I liked and didn't like about the movie a little bit later on. But right now, I'm going to be discussing the plot behind Gravity. So guys, basically in the movie, you have these two astronauts in outer space on this mission. You have Dr. Matt Kowalski, played by George Clooney. He's like kind of like a senior veteran astronaut. He's in outer space, and he is with Dr. Ryan Stone, played by Sandra Bullock. This is actually her first expedition in outer space, while this is George Clooney's last expedition into outer space. And they're on this very important mission. And while they're on this mission, literally in the first scene, we have this huge, massive amount of space debris that heads towards their way. It literally tears through their own space shuttle, and the two of them eventually become separated. So you have Sandra Bullock, who eventually starts spiraling off into the distance after the space debris hits their space shuttle. And she goes flying off into the distance. She's like spinning around, and this is like her first time in outer space. You're like, holy crap, like this is like the worst first experience ever for anyone, ever. And so literally Sandra Bullock and George Clooney are separated. They really have a hard time looking at their surroundings. They are very low on oxygen. Sandra Bullock is absolutely petrified, and George Clooney has got to stick with Sandra Bullock. They gotta help each other get out of this situation, because Gravity eventually becomes a story of personal survival and personal strength in a situation as tough as this, set in outer space. So that's basically the whole story behind Gravity, guys. And I actually do have to praise the filmmakers, and Alfonso Cuaron in particular, because he co-wrote the script for this movie. And I gotta say, this has gotta be a really realistic, scientifically accurate film, from what I know. I mean, I took like astronomy and earth science when I was in high school, okay? I barely remember anything about those courses and what I learned about outer space. But from watching this movie, I felt the movie was scientifically accurate. Now, the director publicly announced that there were a few things that were not scientifically accurate, but other than that, I mean, this movie really felt scientifically accurate in my opinion. Don't worry, if you guys don't know anything about outer space or astronauts or anything like that, you don't need to. You're still going to have a fun time watching this movie. But I was really impressed with how much work that the filmmakers put into this movie. You could tell they did their research. You could tell the actors like studied and talked to real astronauts to you know, play these roles. I was really impressed with that. This film made me realize how hard the filmmakers worked on it. I mean, and it really paid off. It really did. So I gotta praise the filmmakers for that. They literally put the time and the effort into this movie, and you know what? They did a really good job. So the story, guys, it was so well written. It was intense. You know, it was really, you know, really creepy in a few scenes. It was just, you know, it was just crazy, you know? Very strong story writing on the part of Alfonso Cuaron, and I gotta praise the movie for that. And another thing I liked, I love how they introduced, how they used the concept of the Kessler syndrome in this movie. I researched a little bit on that. I actually learned about that when I was in high school, and when I learned about astronomy. I do remember talking about the Kessler syndrome. That is the explanation for all the space debris in the movie. When you have two objects, when they hit and they, you know, collide with each other in outer space, and you have all the space debris and all that, you know, more and more space debris is formed as the space debris hits more objects in outer space, and it's a very serious problem. And I highly recommend you guys research the Kessler syndrome. It's a very serious problem. It's actually very fun to read about. So, anyway, guys, moving on, the performances is the next thing I gotta get to. Gravity is filled with really strong performances from its two main leads, Sandra Bullock and George Clooney. Both of them have showed us how great of actors they were, but I really loved how fully their characters were developed, especially Sandra Bullock's. I felt that her character, you know, she wasn't just this really petrified first-time astronaut in outer space. She actually has a backstory, and you actually felt for her character, and you really rooted for her character and George Clooney's character to get out of this situation throughout the entire movie. And I just love how this movie was a story of personal survival. I connected a lot to Life of Pi because it really does remind me a lot of Life of Pi in the area of how it's a story of our strength to overcome you know, tough situations, and you know, to survive in these in the toughest of situations you find yourself in. And Sandra Bullock did an amazing job in this movie. I would give her some Oscar love. Best Actress. I mean, she really, really did a good job in the movie. I really fell for her character, and I bought her character. George Clooney as well. George Clooney, while Sandra Bullock's character was very frightened, it is because, you know, it was her first time out there. George Clooney, he's like the veteran astronaut, and oh my god, he was funny in the movie. George Clooney is an amazing actor. He was really, really funny in the movie, and all I have to say about his character is vodka. Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about if you watch the movie. But yeah, George Clooney was awesome. Glad to see both those two actors in this movie. They both gave really strong performances, especially Sandra Bullock. Moving on, guys, the next thing I want to get into is this movie's rating. Gravity is rated PG-13. I almost said R. The movie's not rated R, and I think that's an appropriate rating, PG-13, for this movie. It's definitely, I would take younger kids to see it. Yeah, probably not any younger than 10 or anything like that. But, you know, because I think kids would benefit from watching this movie. You know, they might learn a thing or two. They'll learn about the Kessler syndrome if you know about that, and if you explain that to your kids. So, you know, I think it's a movie younger audiences should see because they'll learn a thing or two about it. So I definitely recommend it for younger kids. And, you know, there's some language and there's some perilous and, you know, intense scenes. But overall, I think it's appropriate for the most part. There is this one really messed up scene I don't want to spoil. But other than that, Gravity is definitely, especially for some younger viewers, I think they would enjoy the movie. They would be blown away by how good the movie looks. Anyway, guys, it's time for me to give my personal rating for Gravity. Now, a lot of people have really been praising this movie. Some people have been saying it's the best film of the year. Me, I've seen a few other films I really like this year, but Gravity is definitely one of my favorites of the year still, and it's definitely gonna make its way on my top 10 list by the end of the year. So guys, I'm gonna give Gravity a 9 out of 10. It's a very, very good score. That means I give it really my highest recommendation. I just have a few problems with the movie. Other than that, I have so many things I have to praise this movie for. And as I already mentioned, I'm gonna briefly go through some things I already mentioned. I have a couple other things I would want to praise this movie for. The story writing was excellent. The filmmakers took their time, they researched this stuff, and they did an amazing job putting it on screen. And it really felt accurate, scientifically accurate, and I like that about this movie. It was really intense, and it was emotional in a couple of scenes. Sandra Bullock and George Clooney were amazing. both gave strong performances. Alfonso Cuaron, oh my goodness, this guy better get Oscar love. He did an amazing job behind the camera. Literally, in the first opening scene, which is the two characters in outer space, I literally felt like he threw the camera into outer space. He launched it into outer space. He sent George Clooney and Sandra Bullock in a ship. He literally threw them off the ship and had them, like, fly around in space and make it look like they were being attacked, look like their shuttle was being attacked by space debris. That's how real and authentic this movie looked in its opening scene. It literally looked like they were filming from outer space and you could literally see the Earth. I mean, that opening shot, man, was so good. And there are so many other beautiful shots in this movie. But Alfonso Cuaron knows how to direct a visually stunning movie like Gravity. He did an amazing job behind the camera, and I want to see him get nominated for Best Director. I mean, for a movie to just suck me in and to just entertain me throughout and just blow me away and make me feel like I was watching a movie from outer space, and the way the camera was bobbing up and down on the screen, I gotta praise Alfonso Cuaron highly for that. Moving on, guys. Talking about this movie's technical aspects, but yeah, Alfonso Cuaron better get nominated for something better. The technical aspects of this movie are absolutely amazing, starting and not ending with the visuals, the cinematography, and the production design. This has got to be one of the most visually stunning films. It is the most visually stunning film I've seen since Life of Pi. I was so amazed with what I was watching as I was watching this movie in so many beautiful shots. I mean, it really looked like this movie was real. And it was really filmed in outer space in half of it. It really did. It looks that good, guys. I kid you not. The visuals are absolutely stunning. This movie is a shoo-in to win Best Visuals at the Oscars. It's just a given. If it doesn't win, then there's something wrong with the Academy. That's just how it is. I was just so blown away by how visually mesmerizing this film was and how just effective the visuals were and how blown away I was with the visuals. I mean, it is not crappy or cheap special effects in any way. The visuals are stunning and beautiful. This is a beautiful film to look at. Which leads me to talk about the cinematography. The cinematography, man. Oh my goodness. I was so impressed with so many shots in this movie. The first person shots in Sandra Bullock's suit, you see her hands, she's grabbing onto the space shuttles and everything. It's so cool and so intense, And the cinematography was absolutely stunning. So many shots, Sandra Bullock flying around on the space shuttles, trying to grab hold of it. Shots of the Earth in the background. You got a couple of the last shots in the movie were just amazing. The last shot itself in the movie was just amazingly crafted. But that opening shot, man, still just gets me every time. How well it was filmed. And how this movie had very long takes. That also really amazed me. But the cinematography was gorgeous. I better see some love for the cinematography, and the production design was also amazing. It literally felt like they were filming this in outer space. That's how good everything looked. The costume design was amazing. And finally, I must praise the score. The score by Stephen Price, guys, was really something else. I mean, it is probably the best score I've heard of all year. It drew me more and more into the movie, and because there's not too many sound effects in this movie, because it's set in outer space, I was just so much more invested in the movie because of the score. It was so beautifully done. It was so fitting. It was intense in a few scenes. It's one of the best things I remember about this movie. And the last track of the score in the end of this movie is beautiful. It was a masterpiece. That's what the score was. This score better get nominated. It maybe win for best score, original score at the Oscars. I mean, it really was that good. And that's really everything I have to praise about this movie. I loved so many things about this movie, guys. I do have two minor complaints, however. Just two minor complaints. My only two complaints with the movie is one scene, just one, dragged on just a hair. I mean, it went a little bit longer than I expected it to go, and it just one scene. Don't worry about it. Other than that, the movie was very perfectly edited. And other than that, another minor complaint I have, and this ties into the marketing behind the movie, I was upset with when I was watching the trailer. You actually heard the sound effect of the space debris hitting the shuttle, but you don't hear that in the movie. And at first, I thought there was something wrong with the sound in my theater, but then I'm like, oh shit, that's right, you can't hear anything in outer space. You're not going to hear an explosion in outer space. But I was pissed at the trailer marketers and the advertisers for putting the sound effect of an explosion in the trailer. Because I got excited for that, and then I realized, oh, I'm dumb, you don't have that in outer space. Then I'm like, wait, you tried to draw more audiences in that. They just did that to appeal to the masses. I didn't like that too much. I don't like when trailers do that. But anyway, guys, other than that, this is a near flawless, visually stunning, and it's a visual masterpiece. It really is. Alfonso Cuaron brilliantly directed it. It was so well acted. The story writing was amazing. It's a beautiful film to look at. The cinematography is gorgeous. The score is amazing. I give Gravity a 9 out of 10, guys. I absolutely love this movie. And I give it my highest possible recommendation for me to give it to you guys. And I recommend you guys see it in 3D. I did not see it in 3D for 2 reasons. One, I didn't want to pay the extra money. I'm trying to save money here, guys. And the second reason, it wasn't even playing at the same time. The 3D showing wasn't even playing at the same time. I went to go see the movie in the afternoon. So anyway, guys, I recommend you see it in 3D because there were so many cool-looking scenes in this movie where I'm like, oh, alright, you gotta see this movie in 3D because of those scenes. And I'm gonna be kicking myself in my behind for the rest of my life for not seeing this movie on the big screen in 3D. But other than that, guys, I still enjoyed The Hobbit. I was so drawn into the movie from beginning to end. I loved it, guys. 9 out of 10 for me. I can't wait to pick it up on Blu-ray. And I hope you guys go out and see this movie. It is amazing. So, guys, what did you think of Gravity? Let me know in the comments down below. Do you think it's a possible Oscar contender? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Do you think it's one of the best movies of the year? Let me know, guys, down below. I hope you guys enjoyed the movie. I hope you guys enjoyed my review. Thank you guys so much for watching. Gravity was a masterpiece. Go see it. Thanks again for watching, guys. Bye.